Good morning, everybody. I just woke up about 1 hour ago, so I said good morning. What's the time now? Let's see. 11:46. I wake up about 10:30 this morning. Alright, welcome to the episode 2 of Tech for Sales Rep. After I published the first episode just a few days ago, and I've got some friends who call me up and email me and asking what software did I use to create the clips. So just before we start the episode 2 for today, I just want to quickly go over the software that we used for creating the clips beforehand. So this is actually, I was using iMovie, and the version that I was using is iMovie 11. I'm not sure you can see here, but I'll post up the detail for you later. It's iMovie 11. I think it came in the package together with other software like GarageBand or some other thing. I think it's about iLife, the iLife package. Yeah. So this is one of the easiest movie making or clips or presentation creation software that I used before. Everything comes as common sense, and the learning curve is not steep. It's actually quite well designed. I was appreciating the Apple's effort of creating this software. You can see it's the soundtrack is just beneath the clips, and the clips is arranged in a way, and you can put transition between the clips, and you can have a lot of templates created for your title, starting page, and the ending, and all these things. So that's about it. I will maybe in the future post more details about this software, but for now we'll stick to our schedule, which is iCal. We're going to talk about iCal today, so stay tuned. Alright, here we go. 8 spaces on my iMac. Every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do usually is to sync my iPad, because before I go to bed, usually I've got some idea pops up in the middle of the night, and I usually jot it down on my iPad or iPhone, and that is why a lot of consultants are receiving my SMS usually in the middle of the night, and some of them complain to me like they left the handphone not in silent mode, and sometimes it just wake them up from their sweet dreams. Sorry about that, but anyway, the first thing I do is to sync my iPad, and after that I usually check on the stock market, what happened last night, when we are sleeping. US market has gone up, down, and sometimes I do have a client call early in the morning to check on the performance of their accounts, and I have to log on to the website to see the chart and how is it performed to the bandwidth. So usually out of my 8 spaces, I keep the 4 on the left for work and the 4 on the right for my leisure, which means you can see on my space number 3 I actually have this iMovie load up, and on the space number 4 actually right now is looking at the photos that I'm going to further edit in later. And on the bottom right hand side you can see I actually have a PBS loading. I don't do it that way, just to show you where each and every software is loading in which spaces. So alright, today we're going to talk about iCal. iCal actually stands for, maybe it's iCalendar, I don't know, but it's just a calendar software by Apple. We are not going to look at the Mac version today, but just to show you quickly before we move on to the iPad version, it's the same thing. Apple Calendar is one of the best. It's not the best, but it's one of the best. So far, in my opinion, the best calendar software is still done by Palm, but Palm has gone through so many up and down, and I find it difficult to keep up with them, because they have been sold out the company to other companies. Then the other companies are not doing it properly, and they sell it off again to another third party. I think now Palm is in the hand of HP. Well, I'll wait for a while to see what HP can come up with, but right now my bet is on iCal. The reason I choose iCal is because so far I've used so many software to sync my contacts and my calendar to and from, and so far the least problem that has given me is actually by Apple solution. The second best I would say is Palm, but Palm sometimes once or twice in a year they will give you this very common issue of duplicating your contacts on your next sync. I don't know why that happened. It actually happened to Microsoft and a lot of other software like BlackBerry and all these Nokia. They all have a similar problem. The only place that I don't have the problem after been using for more than 2 or 3 years, it's from Apple. iCal and address book has never given me any problem in duplicating my records so far. Well, I don't know, but so far so good. So this is the software that I'm using. It's called iCal, and you can actually see it in a day view or a week view or a month view. The good thing I like about this, I'm not sure who copy who here, but the first time I start using color scheme is in my Palm handphone, which is I think it's called 650, Palm 650. The first time I start using color scheme is when I was using that handphone, and the good thing about having color scheme is this. I right now usually use green color to record my personal appointment. For example, you know, it's time to pay the bills, time to service the car, times to have an appointment with my wife, times for family day during the weekend. So you can see on Sunday here, which is the last column here, is usually green in color. I'm seeing the week right now. It's the week when my friend from Hong Kong, all the way, my long lost friend, not long lost friend, a friend I haven't seen for past 16 years, has come to visit KK. So that is why you see there's a lot of green colors on my whole week this week. This is week number, I don't know, it's from May 16, mid of the May until the second last week of the week. And you can see the red color is for my work. Red color, usually I use it to mean it's my appointment with a client or something to do with you know, informing my client about something. Purple color you see here, it's relating to my another business in Wharton International, and the pink color down here is indicating my photography activities. It could be a photo shoot together with another friend, and so on. So this is about color scheme. We're going to move on to the iPad version so that I can show you up close and personal how I actually arrange my appointment, and with the help of the technology by Apple, and it's actually slim down all the smoothness of the operation. Right, we'll come back again and I'll show you the iCal on iPad. Right guys, if you have a sales rep, you're probably sharing the same problem and the same thinking as me. As a sales rep, every day we are catching up with appointments, making appointments. Some client will change appointments, some client you have to call on the spot, some appointment you finish early, you have to move on to the next one, and you tend to have more spare time, you want to make some extra call. So you're constantly changing your appointment timing, your appointment shifting to a different week. You're constantly calling your clients on the phone, different clients. You're constantly updating your client status. Once you see a client, you get to know that his wife is expecting in the next few months. You have to update the database so that it helps you in the next appointment with them. The more you get to know about your client, the better you can close the sales. So it's very important you have a very good system of maintaining your database with your client and your appointment on your calendar. I'm going to show you the calendar function in iPad. When you switch on the calendar, just like what you see on the iMac previously, you can have actually, now you're looking at the month view, you can actually have a day view. It's going to resemble to like appointment book. On the left, you have whatever you want to do on the day, and that's the date of your the date for today. And on the right hand side, you can actually see the same thing but arranged in the time scale format. On the left hand side, you can see what time is it and what is the current time. Have you done whatever is above this line? You know, if you have not done it, probably you have to move the current the appointment to the later date. For example, I skip this appointment which I'm supposed to get it done on 11 o'clock this morning. So let's say I would like to shift it to a later date. For example, I can click here and shift it to, let's say, 1 o'clock. Now it's 1:30. Let's shift it to 2 o'clock. And then when I hit done, you can actually see the purple bar has moved down below the line, which is I have just successfully shifting the appointment time to the later date. Think about this: if you are meeting your client and you call up your client before you visit him, and he decided to change or postpone your appointment to the later date, this is what you do on the day. You can imagine doing this in a car when just after you finish calling your client, you were still sitting in your car, and you can change your appointment on the go. And whatever you change here, when you go home tonight, you can sync it back to your iMac calendar, so you start fresh again the next day morning. Alright, let's move on to the week view. This is important to see whether you have a for example, you have enough appointment for the week, or is there any, the red color as I mentioned before is to do with client, is there any client appointment, enough clients appointment, is there enough Wharton appointment, do you have a personal photography trip during the week, you want to fulfill it. And Sunday, you can look at the last column, Sunday here, whether you have any personal appointment with your family members and all these things. So if you go to the month view, this is a bigger bird view to look at the month as a whole, whether you have enough activity for the month to earn that kind of income. On the list view is basically just like a note list where you can look through quickly all the appointment that you have, you know, along the date there. And on the left hand side is showing the current date. Alright. The other thing that is good about this software is that on the top left corner you actually have a button called calendars. If you click it, you can choose to display on this software what kind of calendar you want to have. For example, I have got a work calendar, a home calendar, and personal calendar, a birthday calendar, and a holiday calendar. Right now by default it's all switch on. I can choose to hide all calendars, and you can see now there's nothing on my calendar apps now. Everything, absolutely nothing through all the months and all this. You can move previous month to April, March, you cannot see anything. Sometimes your calendar are too crowded, you would like to switch on and off of all the filters, you can do so. For example, I choose to see all my work calendar for now because there are so many personal things on my calendar, I get confused. So now I'm only looking at all the works calendar. Later, maybe I want to balance my work and life together, I just switch on another personal calendar here, and you can see how many personal things is on my calendar to-do list against the work list. So it's kind of useful. Let me just switch on all the filters now, and you're back to the very busy schedule, you can see. And the other thing I want to mention is on the top right hand corner you actually have a search column. Sometimes your calendar are very crowded, you're a very busy person, you tend to forget about something, and once it pop up in your mind you would like to do a quick search to find out where is the last time I have this appointment with a certain client. For example, I can punch into the column saying that the last new fund launching is new fund. Alright, now you can see on the search result quickly it show up 2 items that contain the new fund keyword. I can quickly go to jump to the current that appointment that I want to look at, and I can click to see, to edit the details. I can add on a note saying that, okay, alright, for example, remember to call all the prospect clients. Well, it's kind of difficult to type here because my camera is actually blocking my finger there, but you can see it's not that hard. The keyboard is big and wide, and it's pretty useful actually. It's pretty useful. It's totally replaced my MacBook on the go. Alright, let me just get it done soon. You can for example, you can delete the whole thing again if you don't want to affect the calendar. So guys, what you have just seen is the calendar apps. It's a very good function for you to take away with you along the way every day in your car. When you're sitting in a cafe, you want to update some database about your client status and your calendar and your apps. This is the cool way of doing it, and you have a clear mind of what you want to do. You'll never miss a to-do list again just by referring to your on-the-go calendar list. And remember, iPad battery lasts for 10 hours, so you never have to worry about running out of juice before you end your day. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me to share about iCal. I'll see you next time. Bye.